No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today we're here with Dani Leigh, who luckily I fucking pursued some interviews today before I did the Leigh, which...
Man, everybody does that shit.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt. It is what it is, you know. Eventually everybody's going to know it's Leigh.
Yeah, because my girlfriend's Lena, and everybody on Earth calls her Lena.
How'd she spell it?
Lena.
I would call her...
You would assume Lena, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the whole thing is like if you're going to have a name that's spelled in a traditional way, but then tell everybody it's pronounced differently, it would be like me getting mad at people for calling me Adam and be like, no, it's Adam.
Facts. But you know what, though? Lee Jeans, Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Slay. You know what I'm saying? Like a sleigh.
The
way it's spelled,
but
it's pronounced Slay.
Was that a combination of your first and middle name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my middle name's Leigh, and then my first name's Danielle. So.
Okay. And introduce us to your brother.
Brandon Bills.
Hey, what up?
Who you literally have a song out today with.
This one.
Yeah.
Look at their faces.
Look at their faces.
That's crazy. So you guys are, what are the ages technically here?
I am 24.
I'm 27.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
everybody thinks I'm the older sister though. Every time.
So you've been observing your sister's come up. How's that going?
Yeah.
It's fucking wonderful. I love it.
Really?
I
Yeah,
support
it's
her
good.
everywhere she goes, anything she's doing. You know what I'm saying? Her big brother.
That's beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
part of the reason why I was so excited about this is because like any interview that my girlfriend gets excited about is a big deal to me. And she listens to your songs on cam all the time.
How cute.
She was just really, really excited about it.
That's fire.
And also,
I gotta meet her.
look how colorful we are on the screen right
I was
here.
just gonna
Facts.
say it's like a whole vibe right now.
I mean, you're a little bit more earth toned
I'm
out.
more
With,
earthy,
you got a
I
little more
know.
brown in there, but we're like Crayola box.
Colorful. Yeah, right. Like Crayola box right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so you guys originally from Orlando?
Nah, I was born in Miami.
Oh, okay,
I lived there
Miami.
for 10 years since I was 10. Then we went to Orlando for like 6 years.
Okay,
And I've been out here for 9 years, so
right.
kind of like, you know, a mixture of LA and like Florida.
Overall, Florida upbringing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say so.
But do you feel like a child of Florida, or do you feel like more of an LA resident?
Yeah, I feel like an LA resident because I was definitely a child. And then I came out here when I was 16, so it was kind of like I learned, I grew up. Like, you know what I mean? I turned into a woman. Like,
Right. You're coming of age years. Yeah. Whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, I was born in New York, but I only lived there until I was 6 months old," it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's kind of irrelevant, right?
exactly. That's this one.
You feel like you got more of that?
The thing is with me, like I was born in New York. I moved to Miami at a young age, but like as a kid, I went back and forth with my grandmas a lot, and like I got like the New York state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
just like the hustle in me, like, and we still have mad family in New York,
Facts.
so like that's what it is with me. Like I just got like the New York mindset. But then, like, you know, with the whole South and the Cali vibe, too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, our parents are raised in New York, too, so that's why we get it. Our whole team is really from New York.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you guys grow up with a lot of musical and cultural influences? Because it seems like you come from a artistic background for sure, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shoot, our little sister, she's a singer, too, so she's in a girl group, Bella Dos, so it's kind of just been always in us. Our mom was like a dancer and a model back in the day in New York, and my dad, his sisters, like they sang in church and everything like that. So it was just natural. We just love music. We're Dominicans too, so it's like always house parties, dancing, good vibes, you know.
facts.
Damn. So that environment was around you all the time. But what about like on a creative end? Were your parents just like super supportive of you guys getting into all that?
Yeah, my mom put me in dance when I was like 12, like dance training and stuff, but I wanted to play baseball.
She was a tomboy.
Really?
She used to follow the
Yeah.
big brother playing
So you
baseball.
rejected
I was
the
playing
dancing at
football.
first.
I know I did reject it, but obviously I got into it and I loved it. So they moved out to LA to like support us pretty
Oh,
much.
so that's why you made the move.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was signed to a dance agency and like I was getting gigs and we just couldn't come back and forth. So we were like, let's stay in this 1-bedroom apartment for like a month, see what happens. Ended up staying for 9 years. So.
Holy shit.
I know.
Were you aware that your sister was like a dance prodigy?
Hell yeah. I mean, since she was young, she always liked dancing. She actually moved out to LA before me. I came like maybe 3 years after.
Okay.
So like she came out here, they came to pursue the whole dancing thing, and then she became an artist. You know, she was dancing with a whole bunch of like different artists, so she became an artist after. Then when I seen like, you know, stuff trying to pop off, you know, I was like, you know what? Let me go check out LA. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to cut hair on the side too. So I used to like cut rappers,
He was
actors,
nice.
celebrity barber.
That's an
So-
underrated hustle right there. There's a lot of motherfuckers who just that's how they're getting by, and they got a lot
fact.
of different clout. They travel between important circles of rappers, and it's an interesting inroad into the industry.
It's good to network. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you meet, like cutting people's hair and just stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it helped me a lot. You know. Now I don't do that no more. Now I'm just strictly artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
You left that one behind?
Yeah, I left it behind because the thing is, like in LA, sometimes like people want to, like, you say you a barber and then it's like you an artist. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They try to put you in a box.
That's
so
like
it's
me with
so
dancing.
right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I just, when I came out here like 4 years ago, I left and I just recently came back like a year and a half ago. So since I came back, it's like strictly artist, songwriter.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. So, okay, when I say dance prodigy, is that accurate? Was there like a lot of hype around you and people realizing like she's really, really fucking good for her age?
Man, oh, you know what? I would say I was really good for my age because I started dancing, like training late. So I started training at like 14, like ballet and jazz and everything like that. And I was one of those kids that kind of just picked up everything hella quick when it came to dancing. So I've always sang. I was always singing. I have covers when I was like 14, 12. But I was always like hella shy with my voice, and I thought I couldn't sing. So then I kind of like, when I moved to LA, that's when I got introduced to like studios and like producers, and like they were like, yo, what's up? Like, you know, shout out to my boy Yanni. Like we started working, and like I just started finding like that I had a dope tone. Everybody told me like, yo, your tone is fire. Like it's really soothing, like, you know. And then I just started playing around with my voice, found the little like rappy wave, like melody wave, and then like had like a dope falsetto, and I'm like just playing around with everything, and I found like everything I could do, you know.
Was it tough to sort of like break past that idea of being a dancer, because it's like obviously a very vital role, but then being an artist, it's like you have it's like being a producer, and then it's tough to get taken serious as a rapper. It's like it's weird how like in this day and age where it's so easy for people to have multiple hustles, it kind of gets looked down upon, and it's hard for people to take you serious.
That's exactly what I went through, you know. Dancing was paying the bills. Like dancing was what was helping me just live out here. So it was something that I needed to do. But I was about to go on tour with an artist, and then I had gotten reached out by labels because I was always putting music out, you know what I'm saying, even dancing with artists. So at that time, I got reached out by labels, and I was like, yo, let me just see what's up and see, you know? And I met with Def Jam, and that's when it was like, let's get it, my A&R. And he like really like fucked with me, really liked my vision, really liked my style, and I was like, let's do it.
I was reading something about that when you met with this first A&R and they didn't like what you were doing at first. They thought you were sing-songing too much, and they liked it once you started getting a little bit harder with it.
No,
Was that how it went?
It was the opposite. They wanted me to be some pop Ariana Grande, like.
Right.
So it was just like, nah, it definitely wasn't what I wanted to do. So that's when I was like, okay. That was the first label meeting I went to. So it was a hard, like, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next, because that was the first experience I got, and they wanted to change me off rips, and I was just like, damn,
that must have been such a weird realization. You're like, I'm over here feeling like I'm an artist, and then my first label meeting, I realized that they're looking at me like a commodity.
What? They were saying like R&B's dead, like hip, like nah, all this. I was like, wow, this is wild.
But you didn't. Did that make you sort of like retreat and not want to continue to pursue things, or?
It didn't. When I had two other label meetings after that, so then I met with Interscope and then I met with Def Jam last. It got me a little confused because at that time I was working with a lot of different producers, so I had a lot of different type of records. So I was writing, like I wrote the Dinero record for J-Lo, so that was one of the records I had in the vault of playing for people. Like,
you wrote it for her? How the fuck do you get into that game alongside doing all this other shit?
You know, I kind of just like that I wasn't in mind like writing it for nobody. I was writing it for me. You know, and that was just a record I did for me, and I ended up never using it. And the producer was like, "Yo, I showed this to J-Lo, like they want it." And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it."
That sounds crazy. Like it seems like it must be really hard to get into the world of writing songs for J-Lo. I'm assuming you like probably were impressed by being able to write for J-Lo. Like, how the fuck did I just get into this position?
I know, it was crazy. I be getting compared like little J-Lo sometimes too. Just
I was thinking that you probably hear that.
Spanish, I dance, you know. So
I could see why they would like. Because, okay, there's a thing that happens with a label where it's like if you meet somebody and it's clear that they just are doing what they're doing and that's what you're going to be signing them for, but I could totally imagine that the label would look at you and be like, bro, she is pretty, she's cool, she's talented, she could dance. We are going to take this girl and just turn her into a star. Fuck what she wants to do. We are coaching her through whatever.
Yeah. Well, luckily, like Def Jam, they let me do me. So they really believe in me. They like my waves. So that's like... I'm great there.
So you did like a bunch of different label meetings before you kind of like figured out who you thought you could trust with your vision?
Exactly. Yeah. I was in a group back then too. So it was like we had just broken up and I was like hella sad, not knowing if I'm going to do music. Like,
what was the group called?
It was called Curly Fries.
Right, Curly Fries. Yes.
I know, throwback.
Were you a big Curly Fries supporter at the time?
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm her big brother. You know, I gotta support everything she does as long as she ain't doing no crazy shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, we were young. We were like a TLC type of vibe. Like we were real commercial and like fun. And,
Wow,
like,
that is fun.
You know, we both danced and it was like that.
Do you have any particular affection for Curly Fries? You have the Jack in the Box? Jack in the Box, they got pretty good curly fries.
Nah, man, I did not come up with that name, so don't even clown me, okay?
Oh, okay. I was just wondering where it
I
came
hated
from.
that name so much. I'm like, ah.
Why'd the group break up though?
Man, groups break up, right?
Oh,
Drama, like she just went on. She still do music too, so.
Okay.
You know.
You were young, but did you think your career was over?
At that time, I was real shy and like not really like. When I was in a group, it was kind of like she could like have her moments and then I'll have my moments. So I felt like more comfortable. So when it was by myself, I was like, oh shit. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I was definitely down. And then I ended up doing like this Bryson Tiller like compilation from his first album. And that, like, I dropped it on YouTube. I changed my whole hair. I changed my whole, like, Instagram, like, everything, like, after I got out the group. And I put it out, and it got so many plays on SoundCloud. It got so many, like, views on YouTube. And that was when I started getting, like, some clout for my music. So I was like, okay.
It feels like whatever situation you end up in, you seem like you do pretty well in it and end up making good relationships and, like, impressing people, huh?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try to, man. That's all it's about in this game is, like, being cool with people, having a good message, and you know, so
it's weird because that's the thing you want to tell people when they ask you like, how do I get into the industry, how do I like do this, whatever. It's kind of like, well, like how close you're standing to me right now and asking me the same question over and over is probably part of the reason why it's not working out right now. You got to figure out how to fit in, bro.
Facts.